What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. I'm LotusAsakura, the one who never knows best, and in today's video I want to talk to you about how we can perfect Tekken 8. Or I guess not really us. I mean, other than I guess sending this feedback to them, but how Bandai Namco can improve Tekken 8 and making it an even better game than it already is. As you guys know, I've been posting a ton of Tekken content on the channel. I've been enjoying the game a lot, and in fact today I just made it to Mighty Ruler with Azucena, and I have 2 Mighty Ruler ranks in Victor and Azucena. I know I'm carried, get over it. You should join the club. Feels good, feels great, not gonna lie. But great as the game is, there's definitely some room for improvement, as with anything, right? Nothing's expected to be perfect, and this game isn't quite there either. However, we can definitely make it a lot better and get it as close to perfect as possible with a few suggestions that I have for myself, as well as that comes from a tweet that I saw the other day. So here in my notes, I was taking note. I know that didn't focus or anything. It's not really important because we're gonna get to it. But here in my notes, I had been writing down and jotting down little notes to myself, things that I think could use improvement, or things that I liked or didn't like about the game, and so on and so forth, and just kind of like getting some ideas down for something I wanted to talk about in a video like this. Then the other day I saw this tweet from SpeedKicks, which basically summed up several of the things that I wanted to talk about myself anyway. So if we jump on over here to Twitter, you can see current Tekken 8 wishlist has nothing to do with balance. And then he goes on and lists a few things. So let's go ahead and talk about these, because these are the most important ones from my own list, and I have a couple of other things that I'll tack on for myself. So number 1, a better invite/friend system, name/code search is only on replays. I don't know why this is, but if we actually go on over to the Tekken real quick, if you load up into the game and let's say you want to make a room with your friends, right? You don't have an option to actually invite friends by searching for their name. Let's just say I go ahead and create this room, whatever, the settings don't really matter, right? Room's created, you go ahead and hit the sub menu, you go to invite friend. You can only invite people that are already on your friends list. As you can see here, I have, several friends that I've already added to my list, but there's no option to search for players. Now, first and foremost, let me just commend them on the fact that these lobbies are functional in the first place and that they even exist, because while you would think that would be to be expected and they shouldn't get any praise for this, there have been games lately that have been releasing that either don't have lobbies or the lobbies don't work. So at least these ones exist. But we shouldn't settle for that. It definitely needs to be better. There should be a system to where you can hit triangle again or hit R3 or something to where you can then type in somebody's name or their Steam code or whatever, search for them and invite them. Because they kind of make it really convoluted to where you have to do this, because now it stands what you have to do is go into the Tekken Fight Lounge, go, hey, what lobby are you in? Then go meet up in the same lobby, walk up to them and then invite them as a friend, or send them a friend request. And then once you've added them, I mean, obviously you could also just play in the Tekken Fight Lounge, but let's say you got like several homies, you're trying to get a lobby together, whatever, but you don't have each other added as friends yet on PlayStation or whatever, or because the game is crossplay, which is great, and some of you are on PC, some of you are on console, this is what you have to go do. Go into the Tekken Fight Lounge, all add each other as friends, then go back out to the main menu, make a new lobby, and then you can invite each other. And it's just kind of a pain. It's just kind of a pain. It would just be really useful if they added a search for friends feature. It would just make things a lot smoother, a lot more streamlined, and that would just create an overall better online experience that's going to continue to keep players online and playing the game. And it's even weirder too, because as noted by SpeedKicks in this tweet, like, you can search for them in the replay section. If we go back over, like, if you go to the replays and then just go to online replay, you can actually type in somebody's like code and search up a replay. So if I just go to open menu here and I go to search by Tekken ID, I can enter someone's Tekken ID and search for their replay, but I can't do the same thing to add them as a friend or invite them to the lobby. It's weird. This is something they should easily be able to patch in. And something I actually want to note in this video, by the way, is that this is the first time ever that Tekken has released simultaneously worldwide. Normally the way it goes is that Tekken releases it first, like in the arcades at Japan, and then like a year or two later we get it in the rest of the world. Case in point, Tekken 7, the previous installment in the franchise, that game came out in Japanese arcades in 2015. We didn't get it on console until I believe June of 2017. So one way that you could potentially look at this game as it stands is that we are playing the vanilla 8.0, or aka the arcade version of the game, and not the true official final console release. Now then that brings in conversations like, oh well, why are they releasing unfinished game, blah blah blah. But I have a feeling that this is going to be one of those games where we're going to get several like quick little hot fixes and patches and stuff. And there actually was a patch that happened the other day that did change some things, fix a couple of bugs, and also adjusted some characters balance wise, which I don't know if you guys want to see me do a video breaking that down. I hadn't done it. I actually haven't seen really anyone do it. I'm sure some people have, but I haven't been looking around for it. But if you're interested in that, let me know. I know it's a couple of days late already, but if you want to get that up, or if you want me to get that up, I can probably do that for you. But yeah, I have a feeling that we're not really seeing the true final form of what Tekken 8 has to offer, and that's obvious, right? This game's going to go on for years, but even just in terms of like what it's going to be for the majority of season 1, I don't think we've quite seen that finished version yet. Now I could be wrong, but that's just my theory, but I think it's a pretty good one. Anyway, going back to SpeedKick's tweet, you can see the next one on the list is track the score in lobbies. And as I said previously, lobbies are good, but they're not great. They could definitely be better, and it doesn't keep track of the score of like, oh, this player has 10 wins and this player has 2 wins. You can see if a player's on a win streak, and that's pretty much it. And it just would be just a nice little feature just to add in like what the score is, like say if you're trying to run like a first to 5, first to 10, whatever the case may be. Now, the next one on the list is a pretty big one as well, a feature that I think would be really useful and take the replay feature to a whole nother level. And it says, go to replay button after ranked match set. And what he means is that after you play a ranked match, let's say you get bodied by a June player, right? June's very popular and very powerful right now. A lot of strings, you know, a lot of people aren't used to fighting June because she hasn't been around in a while. It makes sense that a lot of people are going to be confused on that matchup. Obviously, we have the replay feature in the game, and it's incredible, right? So let's actually go ahead and take a look at some of my like recent rank matches that I just had earlier today and look at some replays just so I can give you guys a demonstration of this feature, how it works, why you should be using it, and how it could be even a little bit better. Let's take this match against Hwadong, for example, right? I ended up winning this set 2-1, but I'm pretty sure the second match was the one that I lost. So let's go ahead and take a look at what went wrong in that matchup, especially because Hwadong is one of those characters where people get very overwhelmed. He's very aggressive, very offensive, has a lot of strings, a lot of pressure, is able to make his own plus frames. And a lot of people just kind of get steamrolled by that kind of character and then go, I have no clue what just happened. I don't know what this character is doing. I have no idea how to fight him, right? Well, that's where the replay feature comes in. Okay, so as we get into this match, I'm sure at some point there's going to be something where I block and don't punish it as well as I should have, or maybe a string that I should have ducked or something of the like. So if we go ahead and take a look, and I think I've changed some settings because I've been toying around with the feature a tiny little bit, so yours may not look the exact same in terms of the information that's available to you, but what I will say is that go through this menu, you know what I'm saying? There's all these different settings that you can tweak and adjust and everything, like whether you wanted it to show you how to punish something, how to break throws, everything like that, your command history, frame data, all that information is available to you in the game. And I understand that it can be a little bit overwhelming, so you can go ahead and take things piece by piece. But the most important aspect that I want to show you is when you block something, it tells you what you should have done, right? Perfect, right there. Okay, he did his back three, his plasma blade, right? That is Hwadong's launcher. It's very punishable on block. Now I blocked it and I did punish it, but I only did a 1-1, which is her 10 frame punish, when in reality I could have done down 4-2 and gotten a full combo from it. So even though I did do something good, I could have done something even better. And this is the type of information that's very useful for players like new and old, whether you're experienced, a seasoned veteran, or you're somebody who's just now starting out. That could help take your game to the next level. And if this feature was available right after you lost the match, I think people would be even more inclined to use it. And it would just be beneficial for the people who already use it and just want it to be even more convenient. So that takes care of that. Now, if we go over and look at the last part of his tweet, it says anything over 120 ms ping should not show as a 4-bar. And this one's a bit more subjective, I guess. You may have some differing opinions on this, but I'm gonna go ahead and say that I agree. Frankly, I would say anything over 100 ping, but I think 120 is generous. I'm okay with that because I don't know how much Tekken you guys have been playing and how your experiences have gone with high ping in this game. But pretty much once you get past like that 100 mark, it gets a little iffy. Like it's still playable for sure, and I would say even at 100 ping at times is better than what you would experience in Tekken 7. But that's where it starts to get a little spotty and kind of question like, do I really want to play this out? Definitely once you go past 120, I'm like, this isn't that great of a connection. So it should not show up as a 4-bar. That should be 3, in my opinion. I know some people will say, well, my internet's not that good, or I only have this amount of upload and download, etc., etc. And there's already the discourse between wired players and Wi-Fi players and all that. So I'm sure this is gonna be one that's a little bit more controversial for some of you guys. But personally, I agree. I feel like the criteria for what's considered a 4-bar or a 5-bar should be a little bit higher than what it is. Just because if I accept a connection that says it's 4 bars and I get in there and it's like 120, to me, I'm gonna feel cheated. I'm gonna be like, I really wish I hadn't accepted this match. But that's just me personally. Y'all can feel free to let me know how you feel in the comments down below. But with that being said, there's a few more things I want to talk about. But while we're here, I want to ask you guys, what is the #1 feature that you want to see added to Tekken 8 that doesn't already exist, or a quality of life improvement or feature you think they could add that would help take this game to the next level? For me, another thing that I had written down in my notes that's not in Speedkicks' notes, this one matters to me probably more than it matters to some of you guys, but I think you guys would appreciate this and like this as well. If I'm going online, right, and I'm going into quick match, I understand quick match is quick match, but I kind of have like a small gripe or a bone to pick with this. There is no option here to choose like how wide the range of players is that you're going to get matched up with. And what I mean is that if I go to the rank matches, right, if I go to queue up for rank match, before you even get into the match, you have several settings that you can pick from that's similar to the quick match, but it gets a little bit more specific. You can see that you have rank restrictions, where you can set it to be +or-2 only, +or-3, or no restrictions whatsoever. As far as I can tell, in casual queue, I understand it's casual, I understand it's supposed to be quick match, you're just trying to get games as quickly as possible, but the gap here, in my opinion, is way too wide. It's set to no restrictions. I remember when I was, trying to learn more Azucena, I want to say I was like maybe Dominator or somewhere in the yellow ranks, right? And I got matched up with like a Fujin rank, which is like a really big gap. And like the point of me going into casual queue was so that I could get some experience against people of like similar level players and just kind of get a hang of what I was doing before I take what I've learned into ranked for a more serious experience where I'm trying to win and get my points, right? But how am I supposed to learn and improve and try to, implement stuff bit by bit if I'm going against players who are much higher skilled and way higher ranked than me? like, I understand it's casual queue, so it's like you don't want to cherry pick it too much, but like I shouldn't have to fight people who are 5-6 ranks higher because like they don't benefit from that really other than just curb stomping you. And I feel like as a player who's trying to learn, it's like discouraging, and maybe the discouraging part less for myself, but more so for newer players. It's like, well, what's the point of me going into casual queue if I'm just going to get stopped by players who are way higher rank? Which likewise, you can still go against players who are even lower rank, but I just think it would be nice if you still had some sort of rank restriction, or if like, even if it wasn't as specific, it's just something more generic where it was like about the same or no restrictions. Like if you want no restrictions, cool. If you want people who are around similar skill level, that should be an option available to you. Now, it's obviously useful in rank because you can, definitively get people who are closer to your skill level, and that also matters a lot for the amount of points that you get, because the closer somebody is to your rank, the more points that you attain. But like, I just feel like it's something that should also exist in quick match. But you can feel free to disagree, but let me know what you think in the comments. Anyway, if we go back to the tweet, he actually has a reply to his own tweet that says, "Oh, and training mode recordings should be remembered when returning from a rank set. I don't play rank, but that seems pretty important." And what he means is that if you're in training mode, right, and you go to record some sort of setting because you're working on this specific punish for this character or this Oki situation, whatever the case may be, if you do that recording and then while you're in casual queue, or I'm sorry, while you're in ranked queue, right, you get into a match, you go play the match, you come back, that recording is no longer there. And this is one of those things where it would just be a lot more convenient and just better quality of life if training mode remembered that recording when you came back to your match. I'm going through my notes here, and another thing that I had written down was infinite rematch and quick match. Quick match, much like ranked, is limited to 1st to 2 sets, and like that's not the biggest deal in the world, but I just feel like for quick match or like casual match, I should be able to infinitely rematch somebody if I want to. Perfectly understandable, totally fine why it's a thing in ranked, even though like it kind of like somewhat kills deathmatch culture, which if you don't know what that is, basically like in previous Tekken titles, like if you would get matched up with somebody who was the exact same rank as you, or if you like intentionally set up a match with like a player who was close in rank and you just kind of like hunted for each other, you would play until somebody promotes or demotes, and that was a death match, right? You keep playing until somebody ranks up or somebody gets demoted. You don't really get the opportunity to do that anymore in Tekken, but not only can you not do that in a rank match, well, now if you run into somebody in casual queue and you just happen to be like, yo, these are some really good games, I want to grind this out, let's just keep running it, it's 1st to 2 and then on to the next. Like in a beta or something like that, I understood it because it's like you just want to keep getting the matches as quickly as possible and stress test and everything like that. But I'm just personally of the belief and of the opinion that in a casual setting, I should be able to keep rematching that opponent over and over if I want to, because it's not like I'm benefiting in any way in terms of like, rank points or anything like that. Like if I'm enjoying the matches and I'm having fun and or I'm learning along the way, then like I should be able to keep that going for as long as either of us so choose. Oh, and another thing, just another little quality of life feature that would be appreciated. If I go into training mode, I would like the option to hit the pause menu and then queue up for ranked or casual queue from the training mode menu. Doesn't seem like something that would be too hard to implement, and it would just be greatly appreciated instead of going like, okay, I was spending some time in training mode or whatever, lab some things, figure some things out, okay, I want to go jump into some matches, let me be able to do that from the training mode menu. Now you could argue that you could just queue up for casual mode or rank mode, and then you just sit in training mode and then just pause the matchmaking, whatever. But again, it would just be more convenient if I could just do it the other way as well. Another thing I had written down in my notes on my phone was that there was a bug where when you were in like a lobby with your friends, if you were doing more than just one and done, so like if let's say if you were running like 1st to 2s and then you rotate, after the first match, the spectator would like bug out and like get disconnected. It seems like they fixed that because I haven't experienced it recently, or it could just be coincidence, but that was definitely a thing that if they haven't taken care of it and it's just coincidence that I haven't experienced it again, they should definitely get on that. But that is definitely something as well. Like I said, I played a lot recently and it hasn't happened again, so maybe they already fixed that. Oh, I have another one as well. Let me go ahead and go back to the game and quickly open up like a random player match so I can demonstrate to you guys what it is I'm talking about. So if you create a session, right, I want the ability to be able to adjust the settings after I've created a session. I don't know why the limitation is like this, because other games are like this sometimes as well, and maybe somebody who's more knowledgeable on than me on like development and everything like that could explain this one and break this one down to me. But if I create a session, once you're in this lobby, there is no option to like adjust the settings. Once you're in this lobby, there is no option to like adjust the settings. Like let's say if you want to take it from 1st to 2 to 1st to 1, you want to enable, disable rematch, add more participants, add an extra room. You can't do any of that once you're already in here. I don't really know the science, the details of the program behind how or why that is, but if that's something that they could change, so that at the very least, like maybe being able to add a whole extra room or whatever, I could maybe understand why that's not a thing, but being able to like change, like toggle like rematch and stuff like that, or change like the number of rounds or anything like that, I feel like that's something that should be able to be done. But again, I'm not gonna pretend like I'm some sort of expert on that. I don't know if that's something that's possible, but it would be welcomed. Another really cool feature that I just thought of, speaking of lobbies, would be, let's say you're in a lobby with like 5-6 homies or whatever, right? You got a pretty deep rotation going, you're all having fun or whatever, but sometimes it could be a little bit boring sitting there waiting for your turn. And like spectating is cool, I'm glad it's part of the game. Again, not something that should be needed to be commented on, but there are games out there that don't allow you to spectate other people. So that's the thing. But regardless, right? if you could queue up into training mode or like go into training mode while you're waiting for your turn, and then when it's your turn, you get a notification that says, hey, it's your turn, hit X to confirm, whatever, and get into the match, that would be sick. I don't know if I'm asking for too much there, especially when it comes to like these lobbies and stuff, but being able to be in training mode while you're in a custom lobby would also be very, very dope. Greatly appreciated and really cool. Because like, let's say you get smoked by your friend, right? Like you get bodied by somebody. It's like, all right, while I wait for my turn, I'm about to go lab this. You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise you have to completely leave the lobby, go do what you want to do, and then come back, and now you back to back the line or whatever. Whereas if you just could go into training mode while you're in the lobby, you could lab that situation out, learn that punish, and then be prepared for the next match. That would again just take training and leveling up and learning to a whole other level if you could do that with the homies while you're in the lobby. But I mean, I'm sure if I sat here and thought about it, I could think of even more things that I would like to see change. But we pretty much made it through everything that I had on my list, as well as talking about the things that Speed Kicks had in his tweet. But like I said, what about you guys? What are some quality of life features or some big changes you would like to see come to the game that would make it a lot better, in your opinion, and make it damn near a perfect game? Because as great as Tekken 8 is, I'm having a lot of fun. We can make this game even better for sure. And this is the type of feedback that I want to send to Bandai Namco and that we should be asking for and hoping to see in upcoming patches and hotfixes for the game or everything like that. So with that, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Hit this video with a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't already so you can stay tuned for all this content that I'm bringing you. With all that being said, that's pretty much all for today. And remember, nothing can happen to you. Swing the bat. Later.